Picture this. You're driving home alone. It's late.
Mm-hmm.
And you've just wrapped up this incredibly punishing, like, 10-hour day of intense analytical work.
You're totally drained.
Exactly. You've spent the entire day navigating these complex spreadsheets, managing corporate systems, basically just putting out fires all day.
Right.
So your brain is firmly wired into this highly structured, very pragmatic state. And you turn on the radio.
Okay, setting the scene.
Yeah. And playing through the speakers is your standard run-of-the-mill, sentimental pop love song. You know the type.
Oh, absolutely. The breathy vocals crying in the rain.
Right. Lyrics all about breathless emotion and reckless abandon. And sitting there at the steering wheel, you feel this profound cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, it's jarring.
It really is. To your structured mind, the emotional language of that song doesn't just feel cheesy. It feels entirely foreign.
Like it's spoken in another language.
Exactly. Like it's nonsensical. Like it was built for a completely different species, you know?
It is an incredibly alienating moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
You sit there at a red light, just staring at the dashboard, wondering if you are somehow fundamentally broken.
Right. Like, what's wrong with me?
Because that culturally accepted definition of love, that chaotic, overwhelming emotional storm, it just doesn't resonate at all with how your brain operates.
Exactly. You start thinking, if that is what love is supposed to be, then what on earth am I missing? And honestly, that frustration right there is the absolute perfect launch pad for what we're getting into today.
It really is the core of the issue.
Because if pop culture's definition of love doesn't apply to the analytical mind, we have to ask, what is true love for someone wired like you?
Right.
So today, we're taking a deep dive into some truly fascinating ideas from a text called The Alchemist of Action: Transforming Forgiveness into Devotion.
Such a powerful source text.
It really is. We're going to look at ancient Vedic philosophy to understand why our standard ideas about apologizing and asking for forgiveness usually leave us feeling completely empty.
Yeah, that empty feeling is so common.
And we'll explore how we can actually reclaim love, not as this messy, unpredictable emotion, but as an active, precise, daily duty.
It really requires a complete paradigm shift. I mean, we are so conditioned to think that letting go of a heavy past is about, seeking some magical, tearful, emotional absolution.
A movie moment.
Exactly, the big cinematic apology. But the texts we're exploring today argue something radically different.
They really do.
They frame healing and devotion as a rigorous, almost mechanical practice of intentional care.
I love that framing. And, as I was reading through our notes for today, an analogy immediately jumped to mind to explain this friction we feel when we try to apologize.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, so it's like dealing with a corrupted hard drive.
Okay, a hard drive.
Think about it. When we carry around guilt or we know we messed up in a relationship, we engage in this mechanical habit of apologizing just to wipe the errors.
Right, just trying to clear the screen.
Exactly. We want to format the drive. We just want that red blinking light to stop. We want it clean and empty.
Just get back to zero.
Right. But here is the massive flaw in that approach. We completely forget to install any new, meaningful software to make the machine actually run.
Oh, that's good.
We just want the blank slate, and then we sit there and wonder why the computer is still totally useless.
That is a brilliant way to conceptualize what the text calls the forgiveness paradox.
The forgiveness paradox.
Yeah, because wiping the hard drive is entirely an act of creating negative space.
Okay, negative space, meaning just taking things away.
Right. Psychologically, when we ask for forgiveness, we are merely asking for the removal of a debt. It leaves a vacuum.
A literal empty space.
Exactly. And the human mind, let alone a complex human relationship, cannot survive in a vacuum.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You cannot build a meaningful future or even a functional present by simply dwelling in an empty room of forgiveness.
Because there's nothing in the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't run a computer on a formatted drive with no operating system, and you cannot run a life simply on the absence of guilt.
Okay, wait, let me pause you right there because I want to wrestle with this a bit.
Go for it.
Isn't formatting the drive a necessary first step?
Well,
I mean, practically speaking, if I mess up, isn't a structured mechanical apology a humble place to start?
that's what you're saying.
Like you have to clear out the brush before you can plant the seeds, right?
Yeah.
Why is it so dangerous to just want a clean slate?
No, it's a totally fair question. The problem isn't the desire for a clean slate in and of itself.
Okay.
The problem is getting trapped in the psychological mechanism of how we ask for it.
Trapped how?
To understand why that mechanical habit of just saying, I'm sorry, let's move on, becomes a trap, we actually need to look at how ancient Vedic philosophy categorizes human action.
Ah, right. This is where we get into the Gita.
Yes. Specifically, chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita. It breaks down the three modes, or gunas,
Mhm.
of how we operate and how we pray.
Right, the tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic modes.
Exactly.
Let's really break these down because initially, looking at the source, this sounded pretty dense to me. How do these actually play out in real life?
Let's ground them in a real-world scenario. Say, an argument with your spouse.
Perfect. Very relatable.
We'll start at the bottom with the tamasic mode.
Okay, tamasic.
Tamasic action is rooted in ignorance and darkness. It's stubborn.
So what does that look like in the argument?
In our scenario, this is when you apologize, but you are secretly clinging to the past hurt.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You say the words, right, I'm sorry, but internally you are still blaming them, or you're just completely delusional about the harm you actually caused. It is a very heavy, toxic state of mind.
So tamasic is basically a fake apology laced with resentment.
That's a perfect summary.
Got it. Okay, what's next?
Next up is rajasic, and this is exactly where your wiping the hard drive analogy lives.
Oh, okay, so this is the mechanical one.
Yes, rajasic action is fundamentally transactional.
Transactional.
Right. It's driven by personal gain, agitation, or a desire to just escape discomfort. It's the let's make a deal kind of prayer or apology.
Like, I'll say sorry if you stop yelling at me.
Exactly. In our scenario, this is when you apologize not because you genuinely care about your partner's feelings, but because you just want them to stop being mad so you can go back to watching the game in peace.
Ah, okay. It's treating the other person or even the universe like a cosmic vending machine.
Cosmic vending machine, yes.
Like, I put in my road apology, you dispense my absolution, and we go back to normal.
Exactly. And because it's just a transaction, it lacks any real substance. It is literally an empty ledger.
Just balancing the books.
Right. It feels dry because there is no genuine devotion fueling it. There is just a desire to eliminate an annoyance.
Wow. Okay. That hits close to home.
It does for a lot of people. But the ultimate goal, the text explains, is to move into the highest mode, which is sattvic.
It's civic.
Yes. Sattvic action is performed with a pure mind. It's done entirely as a duty, without desiring a reward.
Sorry, reward at all.
None. You aren't doing it to get your slate wiped clean. You are doing it simply to align yourself with a higher truth and to genuinely support the well-being of the people around you.
Okay, logically, I am completely with you.
Good.
Moving from an empty, rajasic transaction to true sattvic devotion sounds like the right path.
It is the path.
But wait, if wiping the drive just leaves a vacuum, and I am that highly analytical person from our opening scenario, you know, the one who feels totally alienated by gooey, sentimental emotion.
Right, the pragmatic driver.
Yeah. How do I possibly write new software? I mean, I can't just spontaneously manufacture a feeling of overwhelming romantic devotion. I'm stuck.
That is the exact friction the author addresses next.
Oh, really?
Yes. How do we offer something of substance when we don't naturally feel that swelling cinematic vulnerability?
Right.
The answer lies in redefining what an offering actually is.
Okay, I'm listening.
The text points to chapter 9, verse 26 of the Bhagavad Gita. The Sanskrit is patram papam phalato yome bhakti prayachati.
And what does that translate to?
Translated, it means, if one offers to me with devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or even water, I delightfully partake of that article offered with love by my devotee in pure consciousness.
A leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water.
Notice how simple those are.
Yeah, those are incredibly simple, everyday items. There's no grand, dramatic sacrifice there.
Precisely. What is vital to understand here is the complete disregard for the material value of the offering.
Interesting.
The scale, the grandeur, or the dramatic emotional display. It means absolutely nothing.
It's just noise.
Right. The operative word in that verse is bhaktya, which translates to devotion.
Bhaktya, devotion.
Yes. If an apology is rigid, if it is just a transactional plea to get out of the doghouse.
Like a rajasic mode?
Exactly. Then it is rejected as a dry, empty vessel. It is never about what you are handing over. It is entirely about the energetic quality, the deep care that you inject into the act of handing it over.
Wait, let me see if I can translate this into a modern context.
Please do.
Because, the previous analogy we had in our notes, giving someone a generic gift card versus giving them a single flower, it actually feels a bit off to me now based on what you just said.
How so?
Let's really look at our analytical listener. If I mess up, the empty, rajasic apology is handing my spouse a preloaded Visa gift card.
Okay.
It's a transaction. It says, here is value, now leave me alone.
Very transactional.
But for a pragmatist, true bhakti isn't suddenly writing a romantic poem or buying a flower. That would be fake for them.
Right. It wouldn't be authentic.
So true bhakti is noticing that the kitchen sink has been leaking for 3 weeks, driving to the hardware store and spending 3 hours quietly fixing the plumbing without ever pointing it out or asking for credit.
Oh, I love that.
The Visa card is the empty apology. Fixing the sink is the devotion.
That is a phenomenal distinction, and it hits the nail right on the head.
It just clicked for me.
Because fixing the sink is the positive insertion of care into the environment. It isn't asking for an empty room. It is actively building a better room. And you are right. For an analytical mind, we have to completely redefine what love looks like so that it actually makes sense to someone who operates on structure and duty.
Right, because I can fix a sink. I can
Yeah.
manage a system. I just can't spontaneously generate a rom-com montage in my head to prove I care.
And the ancient texts agree with you. You don't have to generate a rom-com montage.
Thank goodness.
To understand the psychology of why fixing the sink works, the author introduces another foundational piece of Vedic philosophy.
Okay, what is it?
It's from chapter 2, verse 47 of the Gita. Karman evadikaras te mafalau kadachana.
And the translation.
This translates to, you have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions.
Not entitled to the fruits of your actions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack what fruits really means in this context.
In Vedic thought, the fruits are the outcomes, the results, the rewards, and crucially, the past.
The past is a fruit.
Think about it. If we look closely at human psychology, the past that we are constantly agonizing over the guilt we want forgiven,
Right.
it's really just a collection of expired fruits.
Expired fruits.
A collection of old outcomes and closed equations. Trying to fix those past outcomes by forcing yourself to feel some sort of sentimental, manufactured emotion is completely futile.
Because it's already happened.
Exactly. You cannot change an expired fruit. All you can do is focus entirely on the action you are performing right now.
Wait, so my guilt over an argument yesterday is just me stressing over an expired fruit?
Yes.
I'm trying to fix it with an emotion I don't even naturally feel. That sounds utterly exhausting.
It is exhausting, and it's why people burn out on guilt. But here is how the mechanism actually works in your brain.
Okay.
When you shift your focus entirely to precision in the present moment, what is called karma yoga, the yoga of action.
Karma yoga, got it.
Right. When you do that, you physically redirect your neural pathways. You move out of the brain's default mode network, which is where we ruminate on past guilt,
Yeah.
and you enter a state of flow and presence.
You're just in the work.
Exactly. You stop worrying about the expired fruits, and you pour all of your devotion into the flawless execution of the present duty.
This is a massive light bulb moment for me.
Really?
Yeah, this is the fundamental difference between sentimental love and universal love.
Oh, elaborate on that.
Sentimental love is what's playing on that car radio from the intro. It fluctuates, it depends on your mood, depends on if you had a good day at work, you know.
Highly conditional.
Right. But for the pragmatic listener, true love is an action. It is reliability. It is precision. It's mentorship.
Yes.
It's building stable, secure environments for the people around you.
What's up?
Love isn't a feeling you catch. Love is the quality of attention you bring to whatever task is right in front of you.
Exactly. When you strip away society's demand for a specific emotional aesthetic, you realize that doing your work, leading your corporate teams, or maintaining your home with absolute protective care, that is the highest form of love.
That's karma yoga.
That is karma yoga.
Hmm.
You aren't doing it to buy forgiveness for yesterday. You are doing it because the flawless execution of your duty today is how you express devotion.
Okay, I have to jump in and play devil's advocate here because I can hear the objections forming from our listeners.
Bring them on.
If I go to my spouse or my kids and say, I am now treating our relationship like a corporate system to be optimized, and my love is defined by executing my tasks with excellence.
They might not react well.
Yeah, they're going to look at me like I am a sociopath. Doesn't this go too far?
How do you mean?
By turning love into a checklist of reliable actions, don't we risk completely stripping away the genuine human warmth that people actually need to feel safe?
That is the exact dialectical tension we have to resolve here. It is a very real risk.
Right, because nobody wants to be married to a robot.
Exactly. If you are just coldly checking off boxes, you are back in a rejesic transactional mode.
Ah, okay. The empty ledger again.
Yes. So how does a pragmatist find genuine warmth? without faking an emotion.
That's the million-dollar question.
The resolution lies in understanding that executing a task with absolute protective care is genuine human warmth.
It's just a different shape.
Right. It isn't over-intellectualizing, it is a different language of care. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
What actually makes you feel warmer and safer? Someone who whispers sweet, poetic words to you but forgets to pick you up from the airport in the rain.
Ah, the worst.
Or someone who isn't very verbally expressive but quietly, reliably ensures that the brakes on your car are perfectly maintained so you never crash.
When you put it like that, the reliability is infinitely warmer.
Why is that?
Because whispering sweet nothings is easy. It costs you absolutely nothing. But checking the brakes, that takes actual sacrifice. It takes time, attention, and effort. It carries real weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It proves your devotion through selfless reliability. You aren't faking this sentimental emotion. You are expressing your care in the language you speak best.
The language of structure and precision.
Yes. When you fix the sink or check the brakes, not for your own ego and not to cash in a token for forgiveness, but simply for the well-being of the other person, that is bhakti.
That is devotion.
That is devotion. It requires sustained effort, which makes it far warmer than any empty sentimental words.
It is the difference between performing an apology and actually doing the heavy lifting to make someone's life tangibly better. I love this.
It's very empowering.
It is. But let's bring all these high-level philosophical concepts down to earth.
Sure.
We talk about the three gunas, escaping the vacuum of negative space, and redefining love as karma yoga.
Right.
How does the listener actually apply this ancient wisdom when they wake up tomorrow morning?
The author lays out 3 very specific, actionable steps for implementation.
Excellent.
The first step addresses our opening scenario directly. It is called redefining the daily commute.
Which makes total sense because our environment completely shapes our baseline mindset. So what are we supposed to do?
The first step is to stop passively consuming misaligned media.
Okay.
If those pop love songs on the radio cause cognitive dissonance and make you feel alienated or broken, turn them off.
Just kill the noise.
Stop flooding your subconscious with a definition of love that simply doesn't serve you. Shift that environment.
To what?
Use your commute for active, reflective silence or intentional study. You have to take control of the inputs, rather than letting a top 40 countdown dictate your emotional state.
It's so simple, but we rarely do it. We just let the noise wash over us.
Excellent.
Okay, so step 2 is called the task love audit. Walk me through the mechanics of this one.
This is incredibly practical. Before you begin any task during your day, whether you are stepping into a high-stakes corporate meeting, writing a complex piece of code, or just standing at the kitchen counter doing the dishes.
Any task at all.
Any task. You take a micropause, just 3 seconds, and you ask yourself one specific question.
What?
How do I inject an element of genuine care and excellence into this specific action right now, entirely independent of how I feel about my past?
Independent of how I feel about my past. That is the linchpin, isn't it?
It changes everything.
It completely severs the tie to the empty ledger. You aren't doing the dishes to make up for the fact that you snapped at your partner yesterday.
Right, that would be Rosa Jacek.
Yeah. You are doing the dishes perfectly simply because creating a clean environment for your family is an expression of your devotion today.
Exactly. It transforms the mundane into the sacred. The dish, the spreadsheet, the daily commute, they become the leaf, the flower, the fruit from verse 26.
Bringing it full circle.
The material of the task doesn't matter. The bhakya, the deep care you inject into it, makes it a profound offering. You are physically rewiring your brain to focus on present excellence rather than past guilt.
Which perfectly sets up the third and final step, moving beyond the empty ledger. This is about fundamentally changing the vocabulary we use inside our own heads, right?
Yes. When you find yourself dwelling on past mistakes, the natural human instinct is to say, forgive me for what happened.
Right, we just want it gone.
But as we established at the very beginning, that just creates a vacuum. It is a rajasic transactional plea for negative space.
So what's the implementation step?
The step is to catch yourself in that exact moment and completely shift the demand. Stop asking for an erasure of the past and start demanding capacity for the present.
So you literally change the internal script.
Exactly.
You go from forgive me for what happened to, what was it? Fill me with the capacity to show up fully for the people who rely on me today?
Precisely. You move from seeking negative space to demanding positive substance.
I love that.
You are asking for the strength, the focus, and the endurance to perform your prescribed duties with excellence and love. That is sattvic prayer. That is karma yoga in action.
Okay, let's take a breath and recap the journey we have just been on, because we have covered a ton of ground today.
We really have.
We started in that car, driving home, feeling totally alienated by a culture that insists love is this messy, unpredictable, sentimental storm.
Right.
And we unpacked why just asking for forgiveness is actually a trap. It leaves us in an empty room, a formatted hard drive with absolutely no operating system.
And from there, we looked to the Bhagavad Gita to find a new way to operate. We learned that the universe and the people we love, they don't care about the size of the apology or the emotional theatrics.
No, they don't.
They care about the devotion, the bhakya behind the simplest actions.
A leaf, a flower, a fruit, and most importantly for the analytical minds out there, we completely redefined what that devotion actually looks like.
We gave it a new shape.
Love isn't a feeling you have to artificially generate. Love is the precise, reliable execution of your daily duties. It is fixing the leaky sink. It's checking the brakes.
Absolutely.
It is the protective care you bring to your work, your family, and your community.
It is the profound realization that while you have zero power to change the expired fruits of your past, you have total, absolute authority over the quality of your present actions.
It is incredibly empowering. We don't have to fit into the sentimental mold to be deeply, profoundly loving people. We just have to show up and do the work with absolute excellence.
As we wrap up this deep dive, there is one final thought I want to leave with you, taking all of this just one step further.
Oh, please.
We've spent this entire time talking about how you give apologies and how you change your own actions.
Right.
But consider how this paradigm shift changes how you receive love.
Oh, wow.
If you stop demanding emotional performances and sentimental theatrics from the people in your own life, and instead start looking for their quiet acts of karma yoga,
The fixed sinks.
the fixed sinks, the maintained breaks, the reliable presence, how many relationships in your life right now might suddenly be completely transformed simply because you finally learned how to recognize their language of devotion?
Wow. That completely flips the script.
It really does.
It's not just about us learning how to act. It's about learning how to see the actions of others. If we stop looking for the rom-com montage, we might realize we are surrounded by profound care every single day.
Exactly.
I absolutely love that. So the next time you are driving home after a long day and that sappy love song comes on the radio, don't let it alienate you.
No, you're not broken.
You're not broken. Don't feel broken. Just reach out, turn the dial to 0, enjoy the reflective silence, and start planning exactly how you are going to show up and execute for the people who need you tomorrow.
Well said.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep asking the big questions, keep showing up, and we will catch you on the next one.